Well, hello and good morning. Somewhere from the outskirts of Tamaranui, where I've just pulled over because I've just run into an ostrich, which is quite a exciting sight. This is the first ostrich of my experience so far. I've gotten quite a lazy start to today. I didn't really leave Tamaranui until just after 11 a.m. and I have a relatively short day today, all things considered. It's going to be 80 kilometers on paved road and gravel, heading through National Park. I think the scenery is going to change quite a bit on this tour, on today's ride. I'm going to be climbing for much of the way. And I really just needed some time this morning to clean up, finish sewing my shirt, get things started. Feeling like I've put myself back together after a couple of very, very messy and adventurous days out on the trail. So I am going to meet up with the crew of guys that I've been riding with for the last day and a little bit in Raitihi. They took off earlier this morning, and I'll probably meet them at some point on the way, and then we're going to stay at the same campground, so I'm looking forward to that. I did meet a couple of guys this morning at breakfast who are doing the trail that I am opting out of. They are heading up and over a hilly and very muddy trail to the bridge to nowhere, and then they're going to be canoeing down the Wanganui River. And I'm not going to lie, I had a lot of FOMO talking to them and briefly questioned my decision to take this more less adventurous route today, but I think this is the right decision for me at the moment, given the number I did to my bike the other day and some of the issues I'm having, and my tires, which are really more set up for gravel than for mountain climbing and very, very muddy territory. So one day I'm going to come back and do that stretch, but I don't think that day is today. And instead I'm going to take the alternate route on the roads, give myself an easy pass for a day or two, get to Wanganui, get my bike checked out, and carry on from there. So that's it to start off today from me and this ostrich. Hello, and more to come. Well, I just finished the gravel road section of today's ride, just about to get on to Route 4, heading towards National Park, and I got my first puncture. My tire felt really soft as I was getting ready to turn on the highway, so definitely got a hole somewhere. I've gone tubeless, but the pressure was all the way down to 9. Normally I'll ride on gravel and pavement somewhere between 20 and 30 psi. I'm kind of experimenting. A bunch of cows have just come to say hi. Hello, guys. Oh my goodness. You're so cute. Sorry for the shaky hands. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish repairing this and get back on my way. Well, that didn't go as planned. Something went awry when I was pumping up the tire with its tubeless setup. I don't know if the rim tape failed or something, but there was popping noise and then it just wasn't taking in air. So in the end, I ended up putting in a tube. So I'm no longer tubeless on my front tire, and hopefully I make it to National Park or somewhere where I can pick up a spare tube. I do have patches and stuff though, so if anything goes awry, I should be able to fix it with patches. But yeah, that was a much longer, time-consuming and messier thing than I was expecting. Ooh, I hope I'm able to go tubeless again in Wanganui or Wellington, because that's been a really nice setup. I know it's definitely saved me from a bunch of smaller punctures, but whatever just happened, I think, I still can't quite figure it out because there's no slash in the tire. but I think something happened to my rim tape. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to carry on as I've just lost the better part of an hour fixing that. Thought it was going to be a few minutes. So, onwards. Well, I made it to National Park, which is the jumping off point if you're going to do the Tongariro Crossing, which is a sort of famous one-day hike in New Zealand that is really beautiful and goes through a bunch of volcanic land. I'm just in front of the sign for the national park area. I'll just change my camera. There you go. That's what you walk over in the distance in the clouds. Definitely a change in landscape. And I am feeling really relieved at the moment because over at that gas station, I was able to get everything I need. I was able to get a new inner tube just in case I have any more issues, since I just put a tube in my front tire. If I blew out my back one, I really needed another spare tube. So I just got another spare tube. And a bunch of food, and I called a bike shop that was recommended in Wanganui so that I can bring my bike in tomorrow when I get into Wanganui. So I've just got about 35 Ks to go to get to Raitihi today, and I think the rest of today is more downhill. I've done most of the uphill, and I'm feeling a lot more relieved and just reassured knowing that I have a spare tube in case anything else goes awry on this leg of the journey. And I also feel really good knowing that I can bring my bike into a bike shop tomorrow, and they'll be able to reset the tubeless setup and help me check out the derailleur and the cassette and chain and gearing and stuff, just in case I mess something up when I fell the other day. All right, onwards. Well, hello from Raitihi. Made it to the Raitihi Holiday Park, and man, that was a really enjoyable second half of today's ride. After the long uphill climb to National Park, it was mainly a long downhill kind of decline from National Park to Raitihi, which was just so enjoyable, and the weather was perfect. It was like a little bit of cloud cover, but a little bit of sun and beautiful views and not too much traffic. It was just such a nice ride, and I felt so much more at ease knowing that I had a spare tube after getting that at the Foursquare, having used my spare for the front tire. So yeah, it's great to be here. I'm gonna go enjoy some beers and food with the guys that I met on the timber trail before we part ways in the morning. So I'll leave it there for now. All right, probably more from tomorrow. Good morning. Well, it's the next day, and I am just a little over an hour into my ride from Raitihi to Wanganui, which I think is actually pronounced Wanganui. I've heard both, and you see it spelled in both ways. With WH, normally you'd pronounce that as a F sound, but I heard yesterday that the local iwi say Wanganui, so I'm gonna find that out today and try to get it right. I'm in a beautiful little spot about to turn on a river road that's just going to follow the Wanganui River here from the little village I'm in, Tipiriki, down to Wanganui, and I'm going to get to bring my bike into a bike shop. I'm so excited. I'll just turn the camera around, give a little view of the river before I carry on. That's the Wanganui River. There's the bike. All right, I'm gonna get going. Hello from Wanganui. I did learn by the end of today that the local iwi pronounces it Wanganui. They're an iwi that just doesn't pronounce the f for the WH, so it's spelled Whanganui, but pronounced Wanganui here. But farther up north, you would say Whanganui. At least that's what I've heard from the locals. So I'm going to say Wanganui while I'm here, because that feels like the right thing to do by the folks who live here and the iwi who are from here. And that is that. Gosh, I wish I'd taken this video somewhere a little bit more scenic, because it was such a beautiful ride coming into this town. It's just gorgeous. I've never been to Wanganui before or ridden along the Wanganui River, which is just this huge, mighty river. It's massive and beautiful, and the ride in was gorgeous. There's just extensive cycling trails, so it was a really enjoyable ride. But I was fixated on getting to the bike shop, which I got to. Ronnie's Velo Shop. They were awesome. The owner Dale and the bike mechanic Kurt took care of me, and I feel so relieved. I learned, and we double checked the info online, that my bike was never meant to be set up as a tubeless setup. It's just not a high enough spec bike. It's kind of an entry-level mountain bike that isn't set up with tubeless ready wheels. So I should never have gone tubeless in the first place, and that's partly why my front tire failed. And my back tire, when we took it off to put a tube in it, had water in it, and coming in through the rims, because basically the rims of my tires are just not meant to, they don't have the setup for a tubeless tire to work, and to seal properly. So what happened with my front tire probably would have happened because they were never tubeless ready, and would have happened with my back tire eventually. And so I'm really relieved that it didn't happen sooner, and I'm relieved that I was able to get it sorted without too much drama. So phew, all in all, that was a win. And yeah, it just feels really good to be here. Turns out the New Zealand Masters games are here at the moment, so I might go see what's happening in town around that. The group of guys I met a couple of days ago are here. They're going to be staying at this motel, which is why I booked here, so we're going to hang out one more night, or maybe more, who knows. They're also heading down to Wellington, but I think I'm going to probably ride a longer ride than them tomorrow. We'll see. Don't know yet. Yeah, feeling good and grateful and just relieved to have the bike sorted. The guys at Ronnie's Velo Shop were just fantastic, and yeah, just hugely relieved. And it was a beautiful ride just coming into this town. Like, the river is incredible, and the riverside, like, cycling was beautiful. I wish I'd stopped to take a little bit more photos along the way, but yeah, I just wanted to get to the bike shop in time, and I did, and phew, feeling really, really good about that. So thank you again for watching and for the support, and I guess that's it for now. All right, we'll see what happens next. Bye. Good morning from Wanganui. Well, I'm just having breakfast with the group of guys I've been cycling with and following the last few days, and we're going to be parting ways this morning. And so beforehand, I thought I would introduce you to them so everybody can say hello. You can see who I've been cycling with and who helped me out on the timber trail the other day. So here we go. This is Steve, who fixed my bike.
Fixes everyone's bike.
Dr. Steve. Mike, Brian, Warren, and Sandy.
All right.
And all right, we're just getting ready to take off into the, I don't even know, where we're going.
Was it
East.
into the
East.
hinterland?
Yes, into the hinterland.
Oh, right. Oh, nice, Sandy. Well, no.
I'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.